Hi everyone, and welcome to this 20-minute Yoga Express class. We're going to begin in a wide-legged child's pose, bringing the big toes to touch at the back of the mat. Send the knees as wide as you like, and begin to walk the hands forward, melting the upper body onto the ground. Allow your forehead to rest, and your belly begin to fill with big breaths in and out through the nose. Slowly begin to walk the hands over to the left, finding a big stretch through the right side of the waist and the shoulder. And then walk your hands over to the right, opening up the left side body. And bring your hands back to center. And slowly begin to press your way onto all fours, coming to tabletop. Moving through cat-cow. On an inhale, drop the belly, arch the back. And on your exhale, around the spine, tuck the chin to the chest, press through the hands. Inhale for your cow pose. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. Breathing into the spine, the shoulders. Exhale, round it out for cat. On your next inhale, find a neutral spine. And begin to walk the hands forward for puppy pose. Once again, melting that upper body in between the arms, allowing the forehead to rest on the ground. On your next inhale, gaze to the top of the mat and slide onto your forearms, coming onto your stomach. Let the forehead rest on the mat and interlace the hands at the base of the spine. On an inhale, draw the hands back as you lift the chest up. Exhale to lower down, finding full locust pose. On an inhale, lift the upper body and lift the legs. Exhale, release down to the ground. Take the hands under the shoulders and begin to press your way back to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, and send the tailbone high. Find a full breath here. And begin to walk the feet out, paddling the heels, finding length in the back of the legs. And finding stillness in your down dog. Go ahead and sweep the right leg high, bend the knee, and then begin to draw big circles with that right knee. Bringing that knee past the ribs, down alongside the left leg and back up. Release the right foot down to the mat, and then find these big circles on the left side, kicking the left foot back. Begin to round the hip as you make these big shapes with the knee. Release the left foot back down to the ground. Gaze to the top of the mat, and finding a forward fold at the top, walk the feet toward the hands. Grab opposite elbows and gently sway from side to side, finding some movement in the back of the legs and relief in the lower back. Release the elbows, and on an inhale, halfway lift, find a flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back to high plank, and with control, lower onto your mat. On an inhale, take a baby cobra. And on your exhale, tuck the toes and shift your way back, downward facing dog. On an inhale, sweep the right leg high, three-legged dog. Stepping it in between the hands at the top of the mat, rise high for your high lunge. Big bend in the right knee. And then plant the hands down to frame out that front foot. Low lunge, arms reach high, and maybe even interlace behind you to pull the shoulders open. Release the hands, frame out the front foot, coming to half splits, straighten the right leg, curl the right toes back toward your body. Breathe into that right hamstring. On your in-breath, bend back into your right knee, low lunge. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and coming back to a forward fold, step the left foot to the top of the mat and fold over top of the thighs. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. On your inhale, root to raise, come to standing. Reach the palms overhead. And exhale, ride the breath back down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back to high plank. Lowering through chaturanga. On your inhale, take upward facing dog. And on your exhale, round over the toes, down dog. Coming to the left side, sweep the left leg high for three-legged dog. Draw the knee into the chest and step the left foot in between the hands. Rise up, high lunge. Arms reach overhead. Big bend in the left knee. Release the hands to the mat. Lower the back knee down, low lunge. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Release the hands to the mat, coming to half splits. Straighten the left leg. Curl the left toes in toward you. Bend back into the left knee, coming back to our forward fold. Lift the back knee, tuck the back toes, and step the right foot to meet the left. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise up to standing. Exhale, draw the hands through heart center. Inhale, reach the hands high. And exhale, ride the breath down, forward fold. Find your halfway lift. And on the fold, plant the hands, step back to high plank. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. On the in-breath, right leg sweeps high. And stepping it in between the hands, cartwheel your body open, warrior two. Right hand reaches forward, left hand reaches back. On your exhale, reverse your warrior. And on your inhale, come back to warrior two, straighten the front leg. Pivot the right toes to face the long edge of the mat. Finding a wide-legged forward fold, hinge from the hips, melt your way down to the mat. Finding Skandasana, our ninja lunge, shift the weight over to the right, and then shift your weight over to the left, coming back over to the right, come back to center, take the fold, and then walk your hands over to the left, planting them at the top of the mat. Step the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale to half lift, exhale to fold. Plant the hands, step back for plank, lowering through chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog, and exhale, down dog. On your inhale, sweep the left leg high, three-legged dog. Step it in between the hands and rise up for warrior two. Left hand reaches forward, right hand reaches back. Inhale to find length, and exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale for warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Pivot that back foot toward the long edge of the mat. And coming back to your wide-legged forward fold, melt the heart forward, lower the hands to the mat. Finding Skandasana. Go ahead and bend into that left leg. Gaze over at the right toes. Shift your weight over to the right. Once more on each side, shift over to the left. And staying low, straighten that left leg, bend into the right. Coming back to your wide-legged forward fold, grab onto the ankles or the feet. Allow the neck to be heavy. Maybe adjust the feet a little wider. Staying in our wide-legged forward fold, reach the arms across one another to grab opposite thighs, pulling the shoulder blades apart from one another. Breathe into that upper back, and finding the same shape, this time with the other arm crossed over top. Grab onto opposite thighs. Release the hands back down to the mat. Heel toe the feet in close, coming to Yogi squat. Sink the hips down. Bring the hands to prayer position. And push the knees away using your elbows. On an inhale, plant the hands, straighten the legs, and walk yourself back to the top of the mat. Plant the hands, step back to high plank. Take the vinyasa, lowering through chaturanga and inhaling for upward facing dog. On your exhale, come back, last downward facing dog. Shift the weight forward as you lower onto the knees and come to sit on the heels. Take a big breath in. And open the mouth, breathe it out. Plant the hands behind you and begin to lift the knees off the ground, finding a big stretch through the top of the feet, in front of the legs. Slowly lower the knees down to the ground and come back to tabletop. Placing the hands under the shoulders, move through a few rounds of cat-cow. Moving with the breath as you inhale for cow and exhale for cat. Inhale to drop the belly, arch the back. And exhale, round the spine. Press the ground away. Take one more round. And coming back to your neutral tabletop, slide the feet around in front of you. Finding a wide-legged straddle. Maybe come to the long edge of the mat, or stay as you are. Send the legs as wide as you would like, and then grab the tops of each foot. If this isn't accessible, grab onto the ankles or the shins. And let go of the feet. Bring the hands to the mat, maybe coming to the forearms. Begin to contract and relax the feet. So allowing the feet to curl in toward the body. And then collapse inward as you relax the thighs. Moving here as you contract and relax. Noticing the difference. Noticing where you feel a stretch and where you feel your muscles engage. Finding softness, allow the feet to relax, completely collapsing inward. And finding deep, big breaths. On your next inhale, walk the hands toward the body. Draw the knees together. And coming to cow face pose. With the right leg underneath, cross the left leg over top. Feeling this in that left hip. Bringing the arms into it. Find your eagle arms with the right arm underneath. Begin to draw the elbows up and away from you. Breathing into the upper back body and drawing the shoulder blades apart from one another. Take one more breath here. And then release the hands. Finding a twist, take the left hand behind you. Right hand or forearm rests on that left knee. Come back to center. And sending the left leg out beside you. Finding another side body stretch. Keep the right sole of the foot to the left inside thigh. And reach the right arm up and overhead. Maybe grabbing that foot, maybe not. As long as you're feeling this through that right side of the waist, perhaps even the lower back, it's all good. Take one more breath here, and finding modified wild thing, place the right hand behind you and lift the hips as the left arm reaches back. On your exhale, lower the hips, and then finding cow face pose on the other side. Cross the right leg over top. Sitting with a tall spine. We'll add the arms in, this time with that left arm underneath. Grabbing onto the wrists or pressing the hands together. Draw the elbows up and away from you. One more breath. And then release the hands, finding the twist. Place the right hand behind you and actively press against that right knee for that pressure. Gaze back over the right shoulder. And coming back to center, keep the left leg where it is, extend the right leg long. sliding down the leg, grabbing onto perhaps the top of the foot. Reach the right arm up and overhead. Coming to our last pose of the class, modified wild thing. Release the foot or whatever you have hold of. Place the left hand behind you and on an inhale, lift the hips. Reach the right arm back as you open the chest. On your exhale, lower the hips and find any seated position that feels good for you. If you would like to pause the video and take Shavasana, I invite you to take that option as well. Sealing our practice with gratitude, bring to mind one thing that you're grateful for today. And with this in mind, bring a small smile to your lips and find a small bow for yourself for showing up and for taking the time to practice. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next class. Namaste.